tell me what happened today and what this place is about?
Today we served a search warrant in the Terabella area on this garden. We've got several grow plots located here, and we're in the middle of a olive orchard. We've currently got 4 people detained. We have not done a plant count yet. As you can see, some of this plant's about ready to bud. The plants are anywhere from 4 to 7 feet tall. Like I said, we haven't counted yet, but we have a few hundred probably. Several dogs on the property, chemicals. We've got different county agencies responding, ag commissioner, zoning, code compliance. This is just another way they hide behind this medical, is because we've seen several medical recommendations which we haven't verified.
Now, on this particular compound, I noticed there's a lot of different sites in one area. Can you explain kind of what the layout of this area is?
You know, it's just it's plotted differently. Just they put it in the middle of this orchard. They got water line running through every one. It's not accessible from the road. There's an iron gate to the entrance. Why they've got it set up the way they do, we haven't determined that yet.
Now, I noticed that this area is actually, it's broken up into separate plots. Can you explain or give a description of what each of these plots is?
Well, basically we have, like on this one, we have a medical recommend, which we haven't counted the plants yet to see if it's within his recommend, but it looks to be they broke each plot into a different medical recommend. And this is the standard walls they use, thinking that this makes it legal. They've got netting over the top, but it's the standard plywood sides that they've got. So I think they've got it plotted by recommend, but we haven't determined that yet.
Now, the county ordinance says something about being in a secure location, which includes walls and a roof. And I noticed that there's plywood around each of these sections that is about, what, 7 or 8 feet tall?
8 feet.
8 feet tall. And then a screen over the top. What's the purpose of all that?
You know what, it's just to conceal it. This isn't what the ordinance calls for, is a enclosed structure which has to be the same visually as the home. So if they do it in a garage, it's got to be locked, it's got to be secured, it's got to be alarmed, it's got to be able to hide the odor of the marijuana. This doesn't count, plywood and a mesh screen.
Does this also help hide anything from air searching or visuals? Or?
Well, they try to conceal it, but it usually doesn't work. A lot of the reasons they put these walls up is not only because they think it's legal, but just to hide it from the outside, from people stealing it.
And you said you visited this location before?
Twice.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, last year we did a search warrant on it. There was approximately 60 people on scene when we got here. Several of them leg bailed. They took off running. That is the same thing. It was under the guise of a medical marijuana grow.
So explain to me what that is.
This is their medical recommend that they usually post at these grow sites, thinking they're going to be in compliance. It's a doctor's recommend, and that's the biggest problem, is most of these aren't medical recommends, or I'm sorry, they're not a medical necessity. I've yet to see a medical necessity one. This is basically a cartel grow using this, hiding behind the medical.